Let us see question 1.21 of exercise. A conducting sphere of radius 10 centimeter has an unknown charge. If the electric field 20 centimeter from the center of the sphere is 1.5 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per coulomb and points radially inward, what is the net charge on the sphere? Let me bring a figure here to solve this. Here is the sphere, and as it is said that it is having a radius, let me call it like capital R. This capital R radius is given as 10 centimeter, and the electric field is given at 20 centimeter. Let me call this distance as small r. So small r is 20 centimeter. So at this place, electric field is given as, let me put the value, 1.5 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per coulomb. This much electric field is already there. And it is said that it is radially inward. This is important because when the electric field is radially inside, as I am showing here, this is the electric field E, then obviously the charge would be negative, and that's why on this sphere I have already shown the charge to be negative. Let me draw the electric field at different places here. Everywhere the electric field is radially inside. So here is the electric field, and this is the charge, let us say Q. So we need to find out this charge Q. Let us do. Here the electric field equation for a sphere like this is very simple. It is E is equal to KQ upon R square. You know, this is the equation of electric field for a point like charge, as well as it is the electric field for a point outside the sphere. So it is KQ upon R square, and from this we can find out Q by saying Q is equal to ER square upon K. So now let us put the values. Q is equal to, the value of E is 1.5 into 10 raised to 3, and R square, that is 20 centimeters, so I will put 0.20 in meter square, divided by the value of K is 9 into 10 raised to 9. Solving all this, we will get Q is equal to 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 9 coulomb. This is the charge. But yes, because the electric field is radially inward, that's why I should put the charge to be negative. So finally the charge is negative 6.67, and I can put here nanocoulomb because this 10 raised to minus 9, so we can put nanocoulomb. So this is the charge on the sphere. Now question 1.22. A uniformly charged conducting sphere of 2.4 meter diameter has a surface charge density of 80 microcoulomb per meter square. A. Find the charge on the sphere, and B. What is the total electric flux leaving the surface of the sphere? Okay, now first let me write down the values that are given. The diameter D is 2.4 meter. So the radius R is 1.2 meter, and the surface charge density sigma is 80 microcoulomb per meter square. That means it is 80 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb per meter square. And we need to find out first, that is charge Q, and second, that is the flux phi. So let us solve one by one. The surface charge density sigma can be written as Q upon A. charge upon area. And here the area is the surface area of sphere, so it will be 4 pi r square. And from that you can find out q now. Q will be equal to sigma into 4 pi r square. Now let us put all the values. The sigma is 80 into 10 raised to minus 6 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 3.14, and the radius r is given 1.2, so it is 1.2 whole square. Now solving all this, we will get 1446.9 into 10 raised to minus 6, this much coulomb. And after rounding off, I can write this q, that is nearly equal to 1.45 into 10 raised to minus 3 coulomb. So here is our first answer, that is the charge q. Now let us find out flux. Electric flux here can be sought out by the Gaussian equation. Flux phi is equal to q upon epsilon 0, because there must be some charge. This we have already calculated that charge. So due to that charge, the electric field is coming out, and so there is some flux leaving the surface of the sphere that we need to find out. Now that's very simple. We just need to put the values. Here the value of q, the exact value of q is 1446.9 into 10 raised to minus 6 I will use, and the value of epsilon 0 is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. And solving this, we will get 163.49 into 10 raised to 6. This is the flux. So Newton meter square, coulomb inverse is the unit. And further, if we round it off, then we will be able to put it 1.64 into 10 raised to 8 Newton meter square coulomb inverse. So here is our second answer, that is about the flux. Now question 1.23. An infinite line charge produces a field of 9 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per coulomb at a distance 2 centimeter. Calculate the linear charge density. Let me put down the values first. The electric field is given 9 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per coulomb. The distance, let us say r, is 2 centimeter, that means 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter I can write. And we need to find out the linear charge density, lambda. I hope you remember lambda we need to find. Let me show the figure as well. Here let us say this is a linear charge density on a straight wire, and the linear charge density is lambda here. All the charges are shown as positive. And now suppose here is a point, let me call it like P, at a distance r, and the electric field, which will be obviously radially outside this way, is given, and in this condition we need to find out the lambda. So let us go with the equation. In this case, electric field will be E is equal to, I hope you remember that equation, lambda upon 2 pi epsilon 0 r. Now I can simplify this equation by multiplying and dividing with 2. So it will be 2 lambda upon 4 pi epsilon 0 r. So now I can write this equation as 2k lambda upon r, because 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 is k. So now we can find out lambda easily by lambda is equal to ER upon 2k. Now we know the value of electric field E, that is 9 into 10 raised to 4, multiplied by R is 2 into 10 raised to minus 2, and divide by 2k, where k is 9 into 10 raised to 9. So solving this, it's clear that 2 and 2, 9 and 9 both will be cancelled out, and so the remaining term will be 10 raised to minus 7. So here is the value of lambda, 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb per meter, and that is our answer. This is the linear charge density lambda. Let's see question 1.24. Two large thin plates are parallel and close to each other. On their inner faces, the plates have surface charge density of opposite signs, and the magnitude is 17 into 10 raised to minus 22 coulomb per meter square. Then what is E? That means the electric field. A, in the outer region of first plate, B, in the outer region of second plate, and C, between the plates. Means here two plates are given parallel to each other, and their faces are towards each other, and they are having a surface charge density that is 17 into 10 raised to minus 22 coulomb per meter square, but the charges are opposite of sign, means one is positive and another plate is negative. So in that case, we need to find out the electric field in outer region of first plate, in outer region of second plate, and between these two plates. So we will start from the value first. Let me note down the value. Here the surface charge density sigma is 17 into 10 raised to minus 22 coulomb per meter square. Now let me take this figure. Let's say here are the two plates you can see, and let us mention that this first plate is positively charged and it is having a positive sigma. Surface charge density is positive, and here is the another plate which is having a negative charge distribution, and it is having a surface charge density of minus sigma. This is minus sigma and here is plus sigma. So this one is our first plate and this is our second plate. Now they have asked us electric field at 3 points. Let us say this is point P, and then this is point Q, and here is point R. See, point P is the outer region of first plate, point Q is the outer region of second plate, and R is the point between two plates. So we need to find out electric field at these 3 points. So let us solve it one by one, but before that, let us discuss one thing. See, at point P, the electric field due to the first plate, which is positive, will be radially outside. This is electric field, let us say E1. It is due to the positive charge, that's why it is radially outside. And due to the second plate, which is negatively charged plate, the electric field will be towards the plate, radially inside. So that is E2. I repeat, due to positive plate, the electric field is outside. That's why E1 is in left side direction, and due to the negative charge, that means the second plate, the electric field is towards that plate. That means at point P it is in the right side direction. See, let me clarify one thing, that the electric field E2 will not be affected by this plate between. Means while drawing E2, you have to think like that this plate is not there at all, and so the E2 is produced by this negative plate only. The electric field and electric force are two body forces. So this electric field will not be affected by this plate. So here at point P, the electric field due to both of the plates will be opposite in direction. Now let us take point Q, which is the outer side, which is in the outer region of second plate. Let us see. Here, due to the positive charge, that means the first plate, the electric field will be again radially outside, but now it will be in right side direction, because the plate is in left, and so the electric field will be in right direction this way. Here also, this second plate is between the first plate and this point Q, but this second plate will not show any effect, and that's why the electric field at this point Q is just in the right side direction, because this is positive charge, and so the electric field will be radially outside. Due to the second plate at point Q, the electric field will be towards the plate. This plate is negatively charged, and that's why the electric field E2 will be towards the plate, radially inside. That way, here also, inside point Q also, both the electric fields are opposite in direction. Now let us discuss about the point between these two plates, that is R point. At this point R, electric field due to first plate will be in right direction, that is E1. You can understand, this is positive plate, that's why the electric field will be radially outside. But due to the second plate also, the electric field will be in the right side direction only. This is E2, because the second plate is negatively charged, and this point R is in the left direction of this second plate, and so the electric field E2 will be in right direction again. So at this point R, both the electric field E1 and E2 will be in the right side direction. Here, the equation of electric field due to first plate, that is E1, will be sigma upon 2 epsilon 0, as well as for the electric field due to the second plate also will be sigma upon 2 epsilon 0. We know for any infinite plane sheet having surface charge density equal to sigma, the electric field is sigma upon 2 epsilon 0, and obviously it is not depending on the distance. You can see it is not depending on the distance. There is no r at all. So it's very clear that either you take this point P or R or Q or whatever at any distance, the electric field magnitude wise is going to be just sigma upon 2 epsilon 0. But yes, the direction will be different. For example, at P point the electric field E1 is in left side direction, but at the point R and point Q, the electric field E1 is in right direction. The same way, electric field E2 at point P and R is in right direction, but at point Q, E2 is in left side direction. So direction depends on the point what you have taken. Now for the first answer, we need to find out electric field in the outer region of the first plate. That means we have to find out electric field at point P. Let me call it like EP, and this EP will be obviously equal to vector E1 plus vector E2. You can see both the electric fields are being added. But vector E1 is in left side direction, so it will be minus sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 caret I, and vector E2 is in positive x direction, so it will be plus sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 and caret I. Obviously the total answer will become 0. That means there will be no electric field at this point. EP will be 0. The same will happen in the second answer. In the second answer, we need to find out the electric field in the outer region of the second plate. That means we have to find out electric field at point Q. Let me call it like EQ. Again here also EQ is E1 plus E2, the same equation. But here E1 will be, you can see E1 is in right direction. So that will be sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 caret I, and E2 is in left direction, that's why it is minus sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 caret I. But whatever is the equation, the total answer is going to be 0. That means the electric field at point Q also will be 0. Both of these electric field are becoming 0 only due to one reason, that the electric field intensity is not depending on distance. Either you take E1 or E2, both are independent from distance. That's why the electric field intensity is remaining same whatever the distance you are taking. Now let us move further for the third answer. In this case, we have to find out electric field between these two plates. So that is the third answer, and between these two plates, that means we have to find out electric field at point R. Let me call it like ER. Here also ER will be equal to vector E1 plus vector E2, and at this point R, you can see in the figure, both the electric fields are in positive x direction. That's why the equation will become sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 caret I for E1, and the same will be for E2, that is sigma upon 2 epsilon 0 caret I. So as a whole it becomes sigma upon epsilon 0 caret I. So this is the electric field equation between these two plates. Here we can put the values given. Sigma is given as 17 into 10 raised to minus 22, and epsilon 0 we already know 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12, and caret I. Solving this, we will get the electric field ER, that will be equal to 1.92 into 10 raised to minus 10 Newton Coulomb inverse caret I. So here is the electric field between these two plates, and the direction you can see is in positive x direction because there is caret I here. Note that this point R can be anywhere between these two plates. It is not required that the point R should be exactly between these two plates. Anywhere between these two plates you put this point R, the electric field is remaining same, because the electric field of these plates, which we have considered as a infinite plane sheet, is not depending on the distance.